tell me what to say.
Hello, welcome to another exciting new episode of Serious Nibbage with sbrebrown and
Gourmet Pens.
Gourmet Pens, Gourmet Pens, Gourmet Pens, Gourmet Pens.
Well, sorry for wasting 3 seconds of your
I kind of
lives.
got carried away there. In any case, today we thought we would kick off, shut up, Serious Nibbage week, and that is a week in which every day of the week,
which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday and Sunday if you guys are nice.
we will upload a Serious Nibbage episode. So every day, because
it's gonna be a party.
Because we're getting close to Christmas, so we thought it would be fun.
I like Christmas.
Yes, that's great. So we thought that we would do this, but to kick this off, we thought we would answer a question that we have received from quite a couple of viewers, and very rightly so, and that is, what precisely defines serious nibbage?
And that is a really good question.
It is, because
we got the questions, and then we were like,
yeah.
I mean, we know in our heads, but it's hard to get it from our head to our mouth into your ears. Right?
Well, maybe for you. But in any case, we thought what we would do here is cover each of the 5 categories that we
there's 6.
cover. Yes, but the 6th one is the question, is or is it not serious nibbage?
Oh, so it's not really a category.
No.
It's more of just a question.
Yes, that's why I said 5. So we're going to cover the things I have to deal with here. You have no idea. So 5 categories that we will cover. The 5 categories that we cover for every episode of serious nibbage. Yes, thank you. And we're going to define for each of those 5 categories what precisely would, according to us, define serious nibbage.
Now remember, before we continue, serious nibbage is completely subjective, and it's going to vary between person to person. I mean, your miles may vary. No, your miles will vary.
Your nibbage may vary.
Oh, so clever. So this is just supposed to be a fun series.
Yes.
Of course, we are not. We're just basically 2 lunatics who review pens and stuff. So, but it's fun, and it's supposed to be fun. So hopefully by answering this question, it will help you guys figure out what we are talking about when we serious nibbage a pen.
Yes. Let's start with the first category. First impressions.
Yeah. Well, if it's a new pen, usually we briefly discuss the packaging, like how it's presented, and then we talk about the pen itself, how it looks, how it feels, how the nib looks, but it generally doesn't include how it writes. So it's really just, a visual and sensory experience.
And that's already very subjective because, for example, it has become apparent throughout the videos, that you like rather simple and plain packaging that is not a waste.
Yeah,
right?
I'm weird.
No, but there's.
But I don't like having to keep packaging because it's a lot of material. I mean, it takes up a lot of space.
And on the other hand, I'm sure there are also people out there who say, no, if I buy a very expensive pen, I want it to be extremely luxurious. One example for me would be the Colonel Stewart Winston, which comes in a huge box with a cigar and a book of quotes from Winston or Churchill, etc.
And the ink and
inks and all kinds.
But
of
that's
stuff.
not to say I don't appreciate impressive packaging. So that's not saying that if there is elaborate packaging, I'm going to immediately say, "Wow, this is not serious nibbage."
I think it is safe to say that the packaging is not. Does not figure extremely largely in our judgment of whether or not something is serious nibbage.
No,
at least for me it doesn't.
No, it doesn't, but I do like to show people.
Yes,
because,
absolutely.
Again, like you mentioned, some people out there really do want nice packaging, or they do appreciate that more than I might.
So we try to describe it.
Yeah. If we have it available, and if not, then we can't.
But in any case, for me personally, it doesn't factor in so much into the final judgment.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was category 1, first impressions.
The second category is what makes it special.
Yes.
Can you say something about that?
Why don't you say something about that?
Okay, I'll say something about that. There we typically try to cover, as the category indicates, what makes it special. And that can be It's a limited edition pen. It's a modern flex nib. It is the first time this company launches a gold nibbed pen or a gold nib.
Could be the flagship model of the company.
Could be a specific filler system that is rather unique.
It could just be a really nice looking pen.
Yes, a beautiful finish, or a very unique, quote unquote, but a unique nib, so an oblique double broad, for example, which we will cover soon. So these things, I would say, are covered by that. And
so those are more facts.
Yes, those are factual, relatively factual things.
And we've had the occasional pen where it has had a sentimental aspect.
Yes.
For the most part, we try to define what makes the pen special as something that other people will also experience in the pen.
Yes, because the fact that some pen belong to your grandfather is of course great and can make it definitely very emotionally relevant, but that does not necessarily mean objectively it's serious nibbage, right? It can be a very cheap pen, which is because it was your granddad's, it's special. So
or your grandmom's.
Or your grandmom.
Because ladies write too. Just kidding.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
In any case, so that would be what makes it special, and that I think can definitely contribute to the final verdict of whether or not it's serious nibbage.
Especially, for example, if it's a limited edition.
Yes, for example, someone requested a serious nibbage of the Konib bulk filler. I think there you can say, well, that is a pen that has a rather unique filling system, and therefore it may be serious nibbage based solely on the filling system. So I do think that what makes it special is a very relevant aspect of the final verdict.
Well, especially if you're a collector. A lot of collectors collect finishes or models or filling systems just because they need it to complete their collection, not because they actually want that pen or are excited about that pen. So what makes it special is important to cover.
The third category.
Sound a bit Hamishy there.
Yes, sometimes it happens.
Oh, I don't mind that.
Is writing experience. What can you say about that?
Well, this one is definitely subjective.
Yes, but I would also say a very large aspect, at least to me, of the final verdict.
Yes, and I would say for me, this is probably the largest aspect.
Me too.
Well, yeah, I guess you do. Because what we generally like to cover here is how it felt to first write with the pen, and then how the pen works, with longer sessions and over time, because sometimes a pen is really, maybe it might not be the greatest at first, and then you tinker with it, or you flush it properly like you're supposed to, or you change inks, or you change papers, and it writes much better, and then you have a much more pleasant experience.
It can also be the other way around. Some pens write beautifully for 2 sentences, and after that they run dry. I exaggerate a little bit now.
Or they write beautifully, and then you spring the nib, and then it doesn't work.
Yes, that's never happened to me.
No, never.
Anyway, so that's all of that. I would say is writing experience, smoothness,
how it
consistency
feels
of the flow
in your hand as well, because that is, I think, that is part of the writing experience.
Yeah, it's not just the nib; it's also the whole pen.
If it's a massive pen and I find it really uncomfortable, it's going to detract from the writing experience for me, which doesn't happen often, but there are a couple pens out there. But for me, you might notice throughout as the videos continue, or you may have already noticed that if the nib is just kind of a run-of-the-mill nib, it won't be extremely exciting for me, or it might not make serious nibbage status. But that does not mean there's anything wrong with the pen or nib. It's just, again, it's totally subjective, and
it can be a good writer, but it's not necessarily a spectacular writer.
Yeah, or it's not extremely exciting. It doesn't really make me fall in love with it, or not like, ooh, Ooh, okay.
Oh.
Yay.
The next subsection is love and hate. What do we love about it, and what do we hate about it?
Yeah, or maybe not hate, but strongly dislike. Oh, we didn't plan that at all.
No, but it worked. So.
Sorry.
So here, I think for me, love is something that really stands out about the pen. For example, in the case of, say, Pelikan M1000, my Pelikan M1000, double broad nib, that is spectacular. I love the nib on my Pelican M1000. Smooth, extremely pleasant to write with. Nice, wet, but not an excessive gusher, just nice and wet. Perfect tuning.
Of course, someone who hates broad nibs is not going to agree, and that's
No,
completely fine.
Exactly. But that's why we do that, and that has to be something that really stands out.
But we try to be specific when we talk about how we feel about the pen, or what the experience was like.
And again, that could be all kinds of things. Could be the nib, could be the finish, could be the filling system.
Could be all of them if it's a really good
all
pen.
Of the above, etc. Hate. There are pens where I really hate something. There are pens where I really have to look for something to dislike.
Yeah.
And
or something that could be improved or should have maybe been included but wasn't.
Exactly. And then I think it's good to say that, for example, in the case of nibs, some nibs may need a bit of work to make them write well, but we try to base our judgment on how the pen writes out of the box. So not on, because of course once you tune it to your liking, you're going to like it. That's why you do it.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I think, is also for me a category that really weighs in heavily.
Well, that's basically your pros and cons list, right?
Yes.
By you really distill it, and it's like just what do you really love, what do you really not care about?
What stands out?
Yeah.
What makes it, again,
what makes it spectacular?
Makes it spectacular.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the fifth category is, would you buy it?
Mm-hmm.
I think that is another.
That's important.
Yes, it's an important one, but it's also a tricky one.
It is a tricky one.
For example, in the case of the Sailor King of Pen, I think we both said, yes, it's serious nibbage, but we both would not buy it.
No, I said it was not serious nibbage.
You said not, because you're the party pooper.
That hasn't gone up yet.
Oh. Well, I've just ruined it. In any case, the thing here is, it's entirely possible that the pen is serious nibbage, that is spectacular, but that it, for example, is very expensive, or we find it relatively expensive. Not so expensive as to make it horrible.
Not like,
but
unaffordable.
Exactly.
If you were in the market for a new pen of that price range, but
so that's a bit of a slippery one, I would say.
That one is really difficult, and of course, everyone's budget will vary.
Yes.
And some people will buy a pen used, or you'll get it as a gift. So all it has to be. It's hard to consider all of that. So that's why we say just straight up, would you buy it? And then we consider the full retail price that it is currently.
Yes.
And
assuming, of course, that you would have the money, otherwise you wouldn't buy it probably.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
No, but I mean that's important
that is,
too,
that
because
is important.
if a pen is $1,200, it's probably not something you would just buy.
Well, fortunately, we have not gotten into that crazy range yet.
No, but I mean just giving an example of something that could matter.
Yeah.
Well, then the final category is not really a category, but that's answering the question: is it or is it not serious nibbage? And of course, that's a combination of everything that had led up to that point. And I think that's that's not a lot to discuss here.
No, it's basically in one way or another, did the pen wow you?
Yes, because that, I think, is very important. A pen is serious nibbage if, in the words of Christopher Walken, it makes you go, wow!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'll stop there.
And there have been times that we have recorded, and then it comes to the decision of, is it serious nibbage or not? And after I've gone through the whole discussion, I panic, because I'm like, I haven't made up my mind yet. And so I basically follow my gut and pop up that little card. And then I stress about it for hours and sometimes days afterwards, wondering if I made the right choice. And usually in the end, I find that I have, because I'll use the pen more, and although I'll appreciate it for whatever reason, it doesn't wow me for whatever reason. So again, completely subjective. I could be nuts. I might think something is serious nibbage, and you'd be like, what is this?
Yeah, but I think that's also part of the fun. The fact that it is or is not serious nibbage. A pen can not be serious nibbage and yet be a very nice pen to use.
Yes.
It just lacks the wow factor of making the pen spectacular, but it doesn't mean it's a bad pen.
Yeah.
I think that's another important thing to realize, that it's not the final verdict of, if it's not serious nibbage, then don't buy it because it will be horrible. We're not saying that at all.
No.
It's just, is it up there with the greatest pens of all times?
With your goat pens?
Yeah, my goat pens. Or is it a pen that you think, well, this is nice. I could carry this every day, but it's a nice writer. It's not necessarily spectacular. So I think that...
Like, does it give you Visconti opera master feeling, or yeah, I
if
mean,
it does that.
Maybe we should do that for yes, serious Nibbage. Maybe you should just do that, and then I'll just leave you here by yourself. Anyway,
we hope that this was useful in explaining a bit more about the decision-making process, because I think we should have done this before we even started the
but we weren't really sure if we would continue with serious Nibbage. We just kind of tossed it out there to see how it would work out.
It turns out to be a rather popular series. We get a lot of positive feedback, and it is very much fun to do.
And honestly, it really makes me think about what pens I love and what pens I could live without.
Exactly.
Which is insane, I know. But I enjoy that process. Oh, hi.
It's a small visitor.
So I've been enjoying this, and it's very educational to me.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting I agree with Aziza, to go through your pens and actually think about what is really spectacular for cats. So
we hope this was useful.
Yes.
And if there are any further questions that you would like us to clarify about what we consider serious Nibbage or how we define it, please let us know. And
we'll answer it as soon as we can.
Yeah, we will try our best to answer it, in a way that makes sense. So hopefully this has not confused you further. And
bye.
Meow.
Yes, we'll end there.